Takashi misses his childhood crush, Rei. Saya warns him he will fall behind in school if he keeps moping. She leaves after realizing it is pointless to continue. Takashi sees gym teachers staring at a student who is acting weird. The student bites the teacher, who dies of blood loss while trying to escape. Takashi, who saw the incident, rushes to Rei's class and warns her. Takashi runs to class, surprising everyone. Rei refuses to leave, so he slaps her to get her attention. Hisashi and Rei leave after hearing Takashi's story. Rei says she can call her police officer's father if Takashi's story is true, but the line is busy. Then the intercom rings, and a voice tells students to evacuate. Saeko prays in a school shrine before drawing her sword. In the staff room, teacher Shizuka wakes up, confused. As students panic and flee the school, chaos ensues. Takashi asks Hisashi how can they escape. Mr. Wakisaka, a teacher, turns into a zombie and attacks them. Despite Rei's hard stab, he survives. Hisashi grabs him, tells Rei to pull the spear, and tries to break his neck, but can't. After Wakisaka bites Hisashi, Takashi kills him with a baseball bat. Hisashi suggests going to the roof as zombies overwhelm the students. They see chaos from the rooftop. Special Defense Force, SDF helicopters assess the damage and fight zombies. Rei tries to wave, but Hisashi tells her they are not here for the rescue. Hisashi is ill from Wakisaka's bite and asks Takashi to push him off the ledge. Rei tries to stop Takashi's agreement. Takashi is forced to kill Hisashi after he becomes a zombie to protect Rei. Rei is devastated by Hisashi's death and wants to join the zombies. Takashi assures her he killed Hisashi for her protection, but Rei says he must have hated Hisashi for dating her. Rei's accusation hurts Takashi, so he tells her he'll leave her alone to kill the remaining zombies. Rei knows Takashi will die alone and begs him to stay. Takashi embraces Rei, thinking that on the day everything ended, he had killed his best friend and held the girl he loved for the first time in his life. Zombie-chased students scream in a hallway. Saya and Hirano watch them flee. Takashi watches Hisashi's body from the observatory. Rei asks Takashi for his phone and tells him that her father gave her an emergency number. She calls her father, who tells her the city is in panic and they must leave before the line disconnects. They use a water hose to escape the rooftop zombies. Saya asks Hirano if he is a military nerd or gun freak in the school's workshops. Hirano finds a nail gun, and the zombie hears the workshop door close. During the break-in, Hirano kills a zombie with his makeshift gun and saves Saya. Takashi asks Rei if she is ready for their plan on the rooftops. He struggles to control the water hose, but eventually does, and points it at the zombies outside, killing them with the high pressure. Takashi asks Rei if they are ready to re-enter the building, as it will be tough inside. She later asks him where are they going, and he tells her they are going back to their homes and helping survivors along the way. Rei's father can defend himself, while Takashi's father is away and his mother is at school. He shudders as he imagines the outbreak at his mother's school. Elsewhere, teacher Shizuka asks Saeko to go to the staff room where the faculty keep their car keys. Saeko says killing zombies could restrict their movement and cause them to be surrounded by zombies. Saeko rips Shizuka's shirt despite her protests to make running more efficient. Takashi and Rei hear screaming and run towards it. Hirano asks Saya to throw some nails, but she cannot as one of the zombies approaches her. She grabs a drill and impales its head as 4 people watch. Everyone but Shizuka slays the remaining zombies. 6 survivors decide to escape by bus. Takashi then tells everyone to check on their families and find safety. The survivors then watch in horror as zombies flood the city. The survivors are stunned to discover that the zombie pandemic has spread globally. After encountering another group of survivors, Takashi decides to put his theory about how zombies can only react to sound to the test in order to plan a strategy for evading a zombie. However, when one of the survivors accidentally makes a noise, they are forced to fight through a horde on their way to the bus, resulting in the loss of some survivors. When another group of survivors is spotted approaching, Rei recognizes one of the teachers, Koichi Shido, and is hesitant to allow him to board. Following their successful escape from the school, Rei becomes upset when Shido chooses to appoint himself as the group's leader and flees the bus. When Takashi goes after her, a bus carrying zombies crashes and traps them in a tunnel. They are forced to find the other survivors later on because they are unable to escape. After defeating a zombie motorcycle rider, Takashi and Rei locate the rider's motorcycle and head toward the city. Takashi and Rei proceed through the city until they encounter a police vehicle. After discovering that the passengers had been killed, Rei searches the vehicle and locates an extendable baton, a revolver, her and several rounds of ammunition. Later, they stop at a gas station to refill the motorcycle's gas tank. While Takashi goes to a nearby cash register to operate the gas pump, Rei is assaulted by a survivor who holds her hostage and sexually assaults her. Takashi shoots him at point-blank range, allowing Rei to get away from him in a flash. After refueling their motorcycle, Takashi and Rei get back on the road and abandon the lone survivor to his fate at the hands of the approaching zombie horde. Rika Minomi and her squad from the Special Assault Team assist in the evacuation of civilians at Kansai International Airport by clearing the runway of zombies. While this is going on, Takashi and Rei have just narrowly escaped a conflict zone between crazed survivors and zombies. Upon reaching safety, they find out that the military and police have closed off all the bridges in order to prevent infected civilians from entering the city. Seiya, Kouta, Saeko, and Shizuka, realizing they have nothing to gain by staying with Shido, leave the bus and head to Onbetsu Bridge, where they encounter more zombies and are rescued by Takashi and Rei just in time. Observing a Humvee parked outside the apartment where her friend Rika resides, Shizuka suggests that they spend the night there. As zombies begin to infest the area around the building, the group decided to head inside and engage in combat with them and clear the area so they can spend the night there. After the residence has been cleared, the girls take a refreshing bath while the boys inspect the weapons and ammunition in the household. In the meantime, the police at the roadblock are under pressure from both the zombies and the civilians trying to escape to another side of the bridge, including a group of protesters led by a conspiracy theorist who believes the epidemic is a biological weapon created by the government of the United States and Japan. The police are ordered to use lethal force in order to maintain the blockade in the absence of any assistance from headquarters. Back in his apartment, Takashi must deal with the intoxicated Rei and Shizuka. After a heated argument, Rei begins to approach Takashi, but he stops her. Moments later, a dog begins to bark outside, later identified as Zero, attracting zombies. Meanwhile, police use bulldozers to clear the bridge from zombies. While Takashi and the others keep their lights low while surveying the situation, a man tries to find shelter for his daughter, Alice Marasato, but is killed by mad survivors. After Alice's screams draw the attention of the zombies, Takashi makes the decision to go and save her, but Kouta provides sniper support. In the meantime, the girls, having determined that they can no longer reside in the apartment, begin packing their belongings in preparation for their departure. As the streets become overrun with zombies, Takashi, accompanied by Alice and Zero, makes his way cautiously across the top of the fence until the others arrive to assist him. Once reunited, they come to the conclusion that it would be best to cross the river. Zombies successfully infiltrate Air Force One. With both the chairman and the president infected, the chairman begs the president to launch their intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, in the belief that other countries will launch theirs against the United States, as he is killed before turning into a zombie. In the meantime, Takashi's group reaches the opposite bank of the river, free of civilians and zombies. After changing and familiarizing themselves with new weapons, they decide to head to Seiya's house first, due to its proximity. As they approach their destination, they encounter more zombies, and an unexpected wire barrier causes Rei to fall from the Humvee. In order to repel the zombies, the others must use unfamiliar weapons and their own courage. Outnumbered, Takashi and Saeko attempt to lead them away, but they continue to gravitate toward the others. As the situation worsens, a group of firefighters, led by Seiya's mother, Yuriko Takagi, assist them, while Takashi and Saeko take a different route. Takashi and Saeko acquire an armored vehicle to aid in their escape from the zombies and establish camp on a sandbar in the middle of the river. Later, they abandon their vehicle in a park fountain in order to attract the zombies while Saeko attacks them. Saeko, however, freezes when she encounters some zombie children, compelling Takashi to assist her. They decide to camp at a shrine where Saeko reveals that 4 years ago she almost killed a rapist and she enjoyed killing him, claiming that she has not changed and does not deserve love. However, Takashi responds by kissing her. The following morning, as zombies begin to encircle them, Saeko, hating the sadistic side of herself, gives up and refuses to fight back. Takashi informs her that he has always admired her, inspiring her to use a real sword to defeat the zombies. Takashi and Saeko arrive safely at Seiya's home after accepting their dark sides. After spending a day at Seiya's heavily fortified mansion, the group must decide whether to stay with her family and staff and be treated as children, or to strike out on their own and maintain their independence. Seiya is angry with her father for assuming she was dead during the outbreak lake and taking measures to protect the neighborhood, but Takashi calms her down by snapping at her when her parents' survival is confirmed. Seiya's father, the Japanese right-wing nationalist politician Soichiro Takagi, arrives at the mansion and executes his zombie friend in front of the survivors to demonstrate their current situation. Kouta refuses to surrender his firearms to Soichiro's men because he does not want to lose them and become useless. When Soichiro arrives to interrogate Kouta, the others defend him. In the meantime, one of the students who stayed with them reports the situation at the mansion to Shido on call, who smiles schemingly. Seiya attempts to pacify a group of survivors who refuse to accept their current circumstances. Tagashi is taken aback when the others choose to make him the leader of their group. Soichiro later gives Saeko a prized katana as a gesture of appreciation for defending his daughter and gratitude to Seiko's father for teaching him. As the group makes plans to go save their remaining families, Shido and his followers arrive at the mansion. Whereupon, an enraged Rei charges him with her bayonet. Rei reveals that she despises Shido because his father, a corrupt politician, asked him to force her to repeat a year in retaliation for her father's investigation into his corruption. Soichiro arrives and informs Rei that Shido's fate rests in her hands. However, Rei decides that Shido is not worth killing, so Soichiro has Shido and his followers leave because they have become corrupt by staying with Shido. The succeeding president has ordered a U.S. submarine to launch a controversial preemptive nuclear strike against China, North Korea, and Russia, while the crew of the International Space Station watches in horror as the U.S. and Russia launch their intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICMs, at each other. China has launched a mix of its DF-21 ballistic missile variants in retaliation to the now failed American preemptive nuclear strikes, forcing the U.S. and Japanese naval forces to work together to shoot down Chinese missile attacks. One missile, however, manages to breach the joint U.S.-Japanese air defenses and explodes somewhere in Japan. Due to the EMP burst from the nuclear explosion, machines and electronics near the blast break down, which causes Shido's bus to crash and destroy one of the barricades. Soichiro orders the main gate to be closed as a massive horde of zombies approaches the mansion. However, the gate is breached by the overwhelming zombies, causing panic among the survivors. Even those who opposed Soichiro and taunted Seiya, Kouta, and Takashi were killed. As the mansion is no longer secure, the Takagi command their followers and the remaining survivors to fight and flee to a secure location that has not yet been breached. The Takagis entrust Seiya's safety to Takashi and the group as they fight towards their Humvee, which has not been affected by the EMP. Having repaired their vehicle, the group leaves the mansion while the survivors battle the horde. As they drive through the night, Takashi tells the others they will search for his and Rei's parents.